I want to start by thanking everyone for coming to share our wedding day with us. Peter and I have been overwhelmed by the response to our decision to get married after 31 years. The words about blooming time have been mentioned. It's not been easy to pull everything together in such a short time, but all the positivity and the amazing generosity of family and friends has really helped us to achieve this. I'd like to thank Nafi and my other female friends. You know who you are, who have helped to avoid malfunctions in the wardrobe department. And thank Devan for being my best woman. And Tony for putting up with my strange musical demands of producing a CD treasure in our dotage.
You have wonderful taste.
Yeah. Also Lauren for her baking skills, which we will partake of shortly. I love the taste over there. But most of all, I need to thank my wonderful new husband for his kindness and his generosity and hours of shopping. One other must be thanked, and he is Peter's financial advisor. Without persuasion, which probably still be saying in 20 years' time, it's a bit soon to be.
Right, so I don't have any notes or anything.
30 financial advisor.
Just like Ed Millie back then.
There was a very odd thing happened today. I mean, I spent the day dabbing away at light switches because we're going to have a party on Sunday to which everybody's invited. So I'm trying to clean the house, dabbing away at light switches and trimming my eyebrows as required in the prenuptial agreement. And then I decided to walk. It was such a lovely day. I decided to walk here from me. I was walking down the Holloway Road, and a woman just in front of me then picked up a big gold wedding ring, which was on the ground. I mean, it was very weird. And you know, I came along. I was walking. I was in full wedding garb, eating a banana, as you do. And she offered it to me, you know. I got my own.
It's Paris. It's scam in Paris now, obviously.
I've got. Was that
scam
what it
in
was?
Paris. It's come to us in Paris.
Oh right.
Has anyone else had that scam in Paris?
Isn't that amazing? That was serendipity because I didn't get scammed because I just said no, I've got my own. So that's good. So I'm glad about that then.
Yes,
in Paris.
Paris.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Oh, right. So yes, it's a wedding ring. Yeah. What else? Oh yes, the prenuptial agreement. Yes. Well, that went quite well as far as Maggie's concerned. Because if we break up, I'm skinned basically. It wasn't too much trouble. The main sticking point was I had to give up doing my Jimmy Savile impression. Last time, I know why, but it went against the grain. The hours, the man hours I put into that, I tell you. And that man has caused so much trouble.
You came on instead.
Yes.
What a wonderful day! What a marvellous day! What a marvellous day, ladies and gentlemen! Jumping on a plane, flying to Russia, rushing up the steps of the Kremlin and saying, "This Lenin!" The other, I'm trying to get back to the prenuptial agreement. Oh yes, the other thing pertaining to Jimmy Savile, we wanted to have a wedding band, we couldn't have one, but if we were going to have one, it couldn't possibly be Sean Waddy. Somebody will tell you. The other things in the prenuptial agreement, well, the main things were control of the length of the bodily hair, and eyebrows, ears, nose, that sort of thing. Apart from that, it all went very well. I just want to thank everybody for coming. It's been great. Thanks to everyone. It's lovely to see everybody. Really, you've helped to make my day. Thank you.
Thank you.
A speech about Peter, sort of a eulogy. Now, when you look at Peter here, the group, what do you see? You see an unassuming man, a quiet man. But beneath this facile facade, I use the word facile in the positive sense, meaning simple. Beneath this simple facade lurks a very complex character. A man of breadth, width, a man of, well, multi-dimensional anyway. When I think of Pete, there's one thing I always think of, one word that comes to mind, culture. Culture. I'm not just thinking about the haughty type of culture. I'm thinking about his musical abilities, his theatrical interests, his gastronomic interests, and his comedy as well. Great comedian. When I first came across Pete, he was doing a Bob Dylan impersonation in the Leamington Spa Youth CND. And one of the girls in the audience, when he came on, said, "Is it him? Is it him?" Before she went into a swoon. I never really worked out whether he was good or whether she was a bit gullible. But anyway, he convinced her. But like all great artists, this man has suffered a lot of angst, ennui. Peter is the sort of man who likes to stretch himself out on a rack of existence. But when it comes to his culture, he's not just an aficionado, I believe that's Spanish for punter. He's actually a performer as well, yeah, so a real artist. Right. Now another thing about Peter, you probably noticed, he's very busy. Very, very busy. But he hasn't always been busy. I knew him when he was the opposite of busy. Now the bullies always say the back's as big as the front. Pete has got a big back. He was on the dole for years upon end, well, at least 1.5 years in one go. 4 years, yeah, 4 years. And he went to the Labour Exchange, it was a bit lax in those days, just thought he'd better get a job, you know. Pete was the sort of guy that you could, if you were generous, you could say he was a bit of a hippie, you know, into the values of being laid back. Here and now, you know. Mind you, in those days, we were all trying to get in here and now, but by the time we got to here and now, it was the there and then. but anyway, you could say, though, these days, that Pete was a loafer, a layabout, a scrounger. This is the man that Ian Duncan Smith, another quiet man, would strip of his benefits and send him off to a gulag in out of Suffolk. But in those days, they sent him to the zoo. Not as a specimen of Homo lethargicus, but as a sort of as a kitchen hand. And to his credit, this man showed true grit. He got a grip, he showed mettle. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Not what he had today. We have a man who is a leading horticultural artist, the capability Brown of Barnet.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, another thing about Peter is it's hard to see this too, actually, but Peter's a bit of a philosopher. He even did an evening class in philosophy. He's deep, very deep. It's hard to see that, but he's very deep. If you know, I don't know about you, whenever I read John Paul Sartre as being a nothingness, all I get is nothingness. But Pete gets something out of it. He actually gets something out of it. Leon Tolstoy said, the answer lies in the soil. Or was that Tony Williams? I'm not sure. So I like to think of Pete's digging away, breaking down those stubborn sods. He's not just engaged in a physical activity. He's coming to grips with the meaning of existence. He's digging into the very depths of his soul. As another philosopher said, René Descartes, I dig, man, I dig. And therefore I am. And Peter definitely is. I commend it to you, Maggie. I commend everyone here as a very interesting, caring, multi-dimensional, well-developed male specimen of the species Homo sapiens. But can we toast him, actually? A toast to Peter Turner! May you and Maggie live a long time.
Is there any more? Can someone toast the beautiful bride?
Yes.
Please. The beautiful bride!
The beautiful
bride! I'll say something. Maggie and I first met in, I can't quite sure whether it was an encounter group or a women's group, but it was like an encounter group, wasn't it? It's heavy duty stuff. We've now done with the author and lots of other very, very erudite and interesting people. And then we trailed off to India, I think in separate ways, and ended up in the ladies' waiting room at Bombay. I pretended to be fearfully ill so we could get a seat. And we've been friends, obviously, for a very long time. And Peter, I don't see Pete very often. But Maggie is a very, very dear friend. And I hear from our endless conversations, now I live out in the sticks, that she's a very, very good friend to everybody. She's very caring. She worries too much. And so, here's to you, Maggie, my very best friend, and may you have a long and wonderful life, and may you stop worrying. Stop worrying! Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Kate.